This completely hit the spot. So let's just say it's a 1-star book, okay? I trust Lizzie Huxley Jones. I trust you, Lizzie. You're not gonna do me dirty. I did not know going into this who this author was. It was very manipulative. Hello, sugar dumplings. I'm just gonna call you guys a new thing every time and then we'll see how it goes. Pippin says hi. Oh, he smells so good. Do you guys ever just huff your cats? This is my Christmas reading blog / holiday reading blog / winter reading blog / who knows. It's a free-for-all. Last year I did a creepy Christmas reading blog. Was one of my least watched videos of the whole year. The year before that I did a holiday romance vlog, and that was when I was private, so you guys wouldn't have seen that. I'll link both below. I also linked them in my last video, or a couple of videos ago. I actually don't know when I'm going to post this. I guess when I get sick of reading Christmas books around Christmas-ish. I don't know. Here's the rules. I'm just going to read as many Christmas books as I can / want. And it's going to be a mood thing. I have a bunch of candidates. I've got holds in at the library, both audiobook and physical copy. I have one book that I want to buy if I get the money for it and the urge to read it, and it can be shipped to me within 3 days. I just found that one today because of a Goodreads friend. Get off my air purifier. He sits on top of the air purifier, and the air comes out at the top, so the air just goes up his bum hole. It's a Sunday night. I don't want to go back to work. I've been off of work basically for the whole of last week for jury duty, and in a weird way it was like a vacation. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. Sort of. Basically, it's just something new, you know? You do something new, and then your brain is like, whoa, new. But I'm not going to tell you what any of these books are in detail, but I'm going to show you some of the contenders that we have. Some of them I'm going to try and prioritize over others because I was supposed to read them last Christmas or the Christmas before. So hopefully I can get to those sooner rather than later, and then the newer ones, depending on, well, that's, you know what? We know how mood reading goes. So let me show you. Under the Mistletoe with You. This is the sequel to Make You Mine This Christmas, my favorite Christmas rom-com of all time. And I really hope this one lives up to it. I don't need it to be as good, but like, just like true to the author's voice, and I'll be happy as a pig in shit. Actually, let's read the first sentence. Aw, Christopher's just sweet. See, I think this is gonna have a little bit of a different tone because the main character from the first book, Half, is kind of a little gremlin, and she was very gremlin-like to follow in her head, and I think Christopher's just kind of sweet. I'm excited though. I'm excited. I love Lizzie Huxley Jones. I will follow them anywhere. This one I'm so excited about. When Francine Pascal died earlier this year, we were in one of my friends' group chats who were all very into Francine Pascal books and Sweet Valley Twins books and Sweet Valley High. We were all getting nostalgic, and I was like, well, my favorite one was actually one of their Christmas ones where it's a fantasy and the girls are given these Harlequin dolls, and then they're transported to a magical fantasy world where they save the kingdom. And they were like, what? And this book, Sweet Valley Twins, The Magic Christmas. And so I found it on Pango. Somebody was selling it on Pango. Oh wait, because I know that I have this at my mom's house somewhere. I went through and I brought back all of the books from her garage that I could a couple years ago, but I think I missed some because they're not in there. But yeah, I'm gonna reread this. This has happened. I've been looking forward to it all year. Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark, a queer romance about siblings, not two or together. They each get their own. This one, I'm gonna try and get to this one as well. Obviously, I'm gonna try to get to all of these. Then I have 2 books by the same author. Murder on the Christmas Express and The Christmas Jigsaw Murders. I really want to read these. I read the author's first Christmas book last year. Okay, I don't remember the name. But anyway, I really liked the first Christmas mystery book by this author, so I would really like to read both of these. I love jigsaw puzzles, and trains. So this is Christmas by Jenny Holiday. I read the first book 2 years ago. The second book. I'm not really interested in the first book. And then this one, which looked cute. So this one I have to get to because I just have to. And that's Season of Love by Helena Greer. Helena Greer came to Cannonball Reads Queer Romance Book Club in February. Was it in February? No, it was later than February because I had already met her and she recognized me from when I met her at the Tucson Festival of Books and escorted her around. It must have been over the summer sometime whenever we had that book club. But yeah, I still haven't read this. I need to read it. And she signed it for me. And then books 2 and 3 are already out. This is Christmas and Jewish at the same time. Kingdom of Sweets, never read this, from last year. This is a Christmas fantasy Nutcracker retelling. I've got a couple of Christmas mysteries on hold at the library. Hopefully they will come in. And then I think there's one other one that I was really looking forward to. And then I'm going to try and find some other ones on audio too, if I have room for audio. Not sure what I'll find whenever it's available. I let my Scribd/Everand subscription lapse, so I might reactivate it. I think there's a lot on there that I saved from last year and the year before, and I never listened to. But the one I'm looking forward to is the only Christmas horror that I have so far this year, which is You Better Watch Out. I'm going to listen to that one on Spotify. That's the plan. I'm going to start reading tomorrow, which is the 16th, so I'll have the rest of the month. I might stop before then. I don't know. Probably I will. Check in later. I'm okay, I lied, so I'm not starting reading tomorrow. I'm starting right now because I have a very strong urge to read the Christmas Jigsaw Murders. So I'm going to do that as I get sleepy and stuff. So I will check in tomorrow. I have finished the Christmas Jigsaw Murders. Sorry I didn't check in. There really wasn't much to say other than I really enjoyed this. This completely hit the spot. I really hope this author writes more. Like, she published 3 Christmas mysteries and nothing this year, so I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know. I just really like her style. I think she like walks a really fine line between like a really gimmicky, marketable premise and having good characters with emotional depth and fun plots. So this particular one is about a 80-year-old lesbian, British lesbian named Edie, and she's got some major baggage. Her history with Christmas is that a large majority of her family happened to die on Christmas or Christmas Eve, starting with her mother on Christmas Eve when she was 4. She went into labor with her brother, Anthony, and died. One day she comes downstairs and there's a package and somebody has left her a jigsaw puzzle with a picture on it that appears to be clues. And it says, 4, maybe more people will be dead by midnight on Christmas Eve unless you can put all the pieces together and stop me. So somebody is making it personal with her. So it goes into, I mean, I saw on Goodreads there were a lot of complaints that it was too complex, but I really enjoyed that about it. And I enjoyed all the people and all the moving parts, and it kept me entertained. And I just really liked it. I don't know. And it was queer, which I didn't expect, because Edie's adopted son, who's also her great nephew, his parents died on Christmas in a car accident along with his little brother. Yet another reason she hates Christmas. But she ended up raising him from when he was 4 months old. He's basically her son. He's gay and he has a husband, and they're trying to adopt a child. So anyway, I just really liked it. I really liked it. And I'm not reading because I want to save it. I think I want to save the train one for a little bit later in this project, because I really just want to go read that one right now, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do something else. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I have this really probably terrible Christmas thriller that I found on Kindle Unlimited called Xmas Break by J.A. Rowney. This is a pretty new book, and I was really drawn to the cover. Actually, let me show you what it looks like here with the colors. And it's really short. It's 181 pages. It's basically a novella. I think I'm going to read this before bed. Maybe I'll finish it tonight. I don't know. Book number 1 down. Book number 2 in progress. Whenever I finish my audiobook, my current non-Christmas audiobook, I'm going to start You Better Watch Out. So apparently I'm in a horror mystery thriller mood, not romance or whatever else I've got on the docket. Fantasy. Oh, giving this 4 stars. I liked this better than The Christmas Murder Game, which is her first Christmas mystery. And this is her latest. And then there's one in the middle, which is the Christmas Murder on the Christmas Express. Also, there's dark subject matter. I've also seen people expected this to be cozy, which it never said it was cozy. There's really dark subject matter on the back here. People have apparently not been liking that it's not cozy and that there's dark subject matter, including like really dark stuff. And apparently that's a lot of people's complaints with the second one, which makes me more excited to read it because bring on the darkness. Darkness and Christmas go well together. I'm going to go get ready for bed and start this. I might check in a little bit later tonight. I might not. Might check in tomorrow. We'll see. Bye. Okay, so let's talk about Xmas Break, which I read like a chapter of last night and then read the rest this morning. And let's just say it's a 1-star book, okay? It's not good. I don't know if I feel comfortable enough with AI to say that this is an AI written book, but I feel it was definitely not a good book. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to say anything about it. It was like, I hated it. It was not good. It wasn't entertaining. It was uninteresting. It, like, twists came out of nowhere. It was just, I didn't like it. The end. Waste of a good cover. So instead, let's move on to book number 3. And I know I said I was in the mood for a thriller, but I'm pivoting. So this puppy, we're going for it. We're going for it. I trust Lizzie Huxley Jones. I trust you, Lizzie. You're not going to do me dirty. But I did also download another Kindle Unlimited novella holiday thriller. This one, I did actually look at the reviews before I downloaded it. I did not do that with Xmas Break. If I had, I probably wouldn't have downloaded it. It has a not great rating, average rating on Goodreads, but the other one does. You know, if I get to it, which I probably will because it's super short. But for now, we are going to be reading about Christopher the baker falling in love with a movie star. And also, I did read the first page this morning, just on accident, as one does. And it's really cute because he calls Half, which is, she's the main character from the first book, his best friend. And I almost melted into a pud on the ground when I read that. I legitimately go, Christopher! Oh, Christopher, they're friends! And then I remembered the scene in the first book where Half dives into a scummy pond in the middle of winter to rescue a baby reindeer. And then I started laughing. So, that's my emotional journey. I'm going to go wash my face and then start this, for reals. Hopefully, I will have things to say and we'll check in halfway through, like I was supposed to last time and the time before. Instead of just reading it all in one go, but I make no promises. Hold on. Pippin's being cute. What are you doing? Can you come say hi? No, you don't need to stalk her. You don't need to... Okay. Oh, there's Lily. What you doing, honey? Was you eating your dinner? Was you eating your dinner? Pippin, you want to come up here? Are you going to cuddle? Are we going to cuddle? Are you going to sniff me and then we're going to cuddle? Okay. Okay. You're really cute. Let's go to bed. Pippin. What are you doing? Hi. Say hi to everyone. Say hi. What are you doing? I just wanted to check in real quick. Where's my book? It's right here. About this book. I am a little more than halfway through Under the Mistletoe with You and having a grand old time. Yay. I don't really have much to say about it. It does have a different tone than her other book, although it is still funny. And I miss Half. I miss Half. I love Half. That's what I've decided. I just love her. I love Half. But Christopher is lovely and Nash is lovely and he still texts with Ambrose and Laurel and they're just friends. And also a significant part of this plot, they're snowed in, but I'm really pleased that it's turned into this like community focused logistic adventure because they start checking on people around them and then they go to a town meeting and then they get involved in the effort to like help the town's elderly residents. Most people in the town are older. That's a whole nother thing. So like they're cooking food, they're shoveling roads and sidewalks, and they're going door to door to see if people need anything. And I don't know, I enjoy the community aspect of it. And I don't think that that's something that most authors would bother with. I think that they would just turn the snowed in aspect into like a porn fest. And I have just gotten to the first sex scene 216 pages in. I don't know if we'd call it a slow burn, but it was good. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I'm going to give it a 5 though. I love Half. Okay, I miss her. She's a gremlin. and I miss her wackadoodle narration. Christopher is very sweet, and he's also very anxious and, as Nash would say, flappy. Like, you know? Anyway, whatever. I'll check in more later when I finish. Hi. I owe you guys updates. I don't remember if I said this in one of my previous updates, but since I have a 1 and a 2 star so far, I think I'm gonna go for the whole range. I'm gonna try and hit one of each. I have 2 to add. Start with Under the Mistletoe with You by Lizzie Huxley Jones. Very fast. It was a very fun time. I did not love it as much as I love Make You Mine This Christmas, and that is because of I missed half. And it turns out that the reason why I love that book so much is that I love half. And I think she's very funny and lovable. The overall tone of the book was still very funny and lovable, but I missed her. So what this was a really cute, very well done, small town Christmas romance. I cannot complain about it at all. It got a little cheesy, a little like predictable in points, but I mean, that's what you're signing up for, right? You're signing up for that. I am giving it a 4.5. I ran it through Callpile. I know that I'm accurate, and I will be rereading it, and this will look very nice on my shelves next to its sister. And then while I was like halfway through that, I did also start another book, and that is You Better Watch Out by James S. Murray and Darren Wearmouth? I'm pretty sure it's Wearmouth, because he's British. I did not know going into this who this author was. I was looking for a Christmas horror, and it was really more of a Christmas thriller, but it's also a slasher, so I think it's both. But anyway, point is, I was looking for a Christmas horror, and this was new, and I'd seen it around, and the cover is very striking, and so I read the premise, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. Let's give it a try. And let's just say this is the epitome of a 3-star read for me. It's fine, aggressively fine. It was a book. It was very plot heavy. It relied very heavily on a twist at the end. It was gory, but it was missing that spark. It didn't have character stuff. It didn't have like fun dialogue. It didn't have a slyness to it, which is things that I appreciate in books of this kind. It was just very straightforward. I almost was gonna give it a 2, but then there was a twist to the twist that was like, okay, well that makes more sense. But it's so implausible. It's so implausible. Anyway, it's all of that to say it was fine. It was a 3-star book. Nothing really all that bad, nothing really all that good. But then when there's this like 45 or 35 minute, like when I got to the end of the book, like I even got to the epilogue, which, side note, he's written like a couple of other thrillers with this guy, James S.A. Murray, and Darren Wearmouth was the co-writer, but I think he's the actual writer of the 2 of them. He just pulled in his main character from one of his other thrillers and gave her an epilogue that was about the characters in this book. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen done in a fiction book. But anyway, I get to the epilogue's over and there's still more audiobook, and I said, what the heck is this? And then the author comes on and he goes, hey guys, this is Murr from Impractical Jokers. The author is freaking Murr from Impractical Jokers, which is a television program that I loathe. And I just hate it. I think it's so mean-spirited. I don't like when people play jokes on each other, and I don't know. I know the jokes could be worse, but I just hate it. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's funny. And it's that guy. He wrote several books, and I would not have picked it up if I would have known it was him. I will say that, because that's how much I don't like that show. But anyway, like the last 35 minutes is them, like, I think they like string him up or something. They tie him up and then hang him, and they make him read the first chapter of his audiobook, and they won't let him down until he's done. And I'm like, why? I just listened to that chapter. I don't need to. It was very strange, and I'm mad that I read a book. I was tricked into reading a book by that guy. Why are you making a living by making other people feel bad and being tricked? I don't like it. Anyway, it was fine. 3 stars. Oh, for the premise, for those of you who aren't aware, is that, well, the blurb says a woman, what's her name, Jess. So it makes it seem like she's the main character, but really the main character I would say is Eddie. Basically both of them, and along with other people, wake up Christmas Eve or the week of Christmas in this abandoned town, and they're the only ones there, and they have been abducted and drugged and brought there, and then they start dying one by one. And so they have to figure out why they're there and try to survive. And that's the premise. I pretty much guessed everything except for spoilers. If you don't care, you know, stick around, but this is a spoiler for what the twist was not. I was convinced that because it's called You Better Watch Out, that the villain was actually going to be Santa Claus and his wife, but it wasn't. And honestly, I would have respected it more if that was the case. And spoilers. It was fine. It was fine. Let's move on. Oh, real quick before I do though, I did want to say I will be starting a book. The book I'm currently reading, I started it this morning, and this is not part of this video, is The Muse of Maiden Lane by Mimi Matthews. This is the last book in her basically Victorian horse girl historical romance series that I really enjoy. She snuck Christmas in here. This book was published late November or mid-November, and I didn't know it was a Christmas book. This whole thing takes place at a house party over Christmas in Victorian times. So this is a stealth Christmas book right here. But when I started this morning, it made me remember that Mimi Matthews has a Christmas novella called Holidays by Gaslight, or A Holiday by Gaslight or something. And I'm gonna read it. I downloaded it. So we're gonna do that. I got the audio. But I'm not starting that now because I don't want to be reading 2 Mimi Matthews books at once, because I've done that and it's very confusing. I don't want to like mix it up. So what I'm going to start on audio right now is I'm going to carry through, I'm going to do a little, the best of both worlds here. I'm craving mystery and romance at the same time. And most of my TBR doesn't have that. But then I remembered that I have 2 Cat Sebastian audiobooks in the same series, Hither Page and The Missing Page. Hither Page I've already read. I read it years ago when it first came out, and then I just never got around to The Missing Page. I have to reread Hither Page because I don't remember much about it, and I want to be like primed if I'm finally gonna enjoy this one. They're like 5 hours each on audio, so it's basically like one book, but they're mysteries. They're historical mysteries. They are romance. And I believe like they're queer romance, but I don't remember the time period they take place in. I know it's in England, and I know one of them is a doctor, and is one of them a veteran of some war? I can't remember. I'll fill you in later. I'm starting those now. I think I'll pretty much just read both of them straight in a row, because why not? I'm not gonna officially vlog this because I already vlogged it earlier in the year. I might count it towards my total books read once I finish it, but I have also started my reread of 10 Things That Never Happened, which is a book I read in my Alexis Hall catch-up reading blog, which I'll link down below, and which I gave 5 stars. And I've had a couple of my friends like reading it for the first time in the last several weeks, and it's just made me want to revisit it again in the proper time period, you know, which is Christmas, because it's a Christmas book. Well, it's got, actually, this is more of a romance book with Christmas in it, like this one. It's not specifically designed to be a Christmas book. We'll see. I might talk about it more later, but you could always just go to my other video. That's all for now. I'm going to go wash my face and get ready for bed, and I'm gonna tuck into this while I fall asleep, which I don't know, depending on how Christmassy that is, I also might rope that. And then I'm going to listen to an audiobook. Not sure which one at the moment. One of those two, 10 Things or Hither Page. Probably Hither Page, because I need to get cracking. I'm just blabbing now. Check in later. Madam, chill the f out. Okay, let's talk about Hither Page. So I am not going to go right into the second one. I need a little bit of a break, but this was enjoyable. I forgot how much I liked the town in this one. If there's any part, I really think the mystery was lacking a little bit, and I didn't care as much about the romance. I wanted more town stuff and more mystery stuff. So I think I'm just in a crabby mood. Hold on, I gotta kiss the kitty. It's a solid 4. I don't really like the audiobook narrator, but I'm committed to doing audiobooks right now because I don't have time to read the regular book. I actually think right now I'm going to go into another book. and that is Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. It is a Victorian holiday novella. It is like a 4-hour audiobook, and on higher speed it'll be like 3 something for me. And I think I can finish it before I leave to drive up to Phoenix tomorrow to spend Christmas with my mom. And then on the drive, I think I will listen to 10 Things That Never Happened, because I like starting audiobooks when I go on a road trip. I don't like to be midway. I like to start them like it's a treat. So anyway, yeah, 4 stars for Heather Page. I don't have much to say. I was wrong though. Doctor and the soldier were the same person. And then the other guy is a spy. And I think it's just a duology. I don't know if she's going to write it anymore. There's love and murder, and there's this cute lesbian couple in their 80s, and a plucky foundling. I don't know. I liked it. It was fun. Cass Sebastian's always a good time. Am I annoying you, baby? Huh? Am I annoying you? Am I annoying you? I'm annoying her. Yeah? Go play in your donut. I got them a cat donut for Christmas, and Pippin has spent about, I think he's actually in the donut right now, but he was like playing in it and he wouldn't leave. And then she likes the middle of the donut to sleep in. So I'll try to be better about vlogging at my mom's house. I'm really bad about that. Woo! Good night. I just pulled up to my mom's house, but I wanted to check in real quick because walking in front of her is weird. I just finished and started an audiobook. So I finished Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. This was lovely. Highly recommend it. It's very slow and considered, but like deeply emotional. And it's the premise of it is this: there's this Victorian impoverished baronet. It's like 1861. His daughters, he's using them basically as bargaining chips because he needs money. So he like agrees for this tradesman to court his daughter Sophie, but he bungles the courtship, doesn't realize he's bungling it, because what she wants is intimacy and conversation and to get to know him, and all he does is not talk and do exactly what his little book of, he literally buys a book of etiquette. He does exactly what the book of etiquette says, and so she breaks off their courtship. And that's how it opens, is with her breaking it off. And then she sort of rethinks some things and thinks, oh, I'll give him a second chance. And it ends up that he comes to her parents' house for Christmas, or their country estate. And then they get to know each other. And there's lots of like extended conversations. And I don't know, it was just really kind of masterful the way that it went from these people not knowing each other at all to knowing each other very well and falling in love. So I'm not giving it 5 stars. It wasn't a perfect read, but I think it's pretty close to being awesome. I mean, I'm giving it 4.5 stars. And then I started 10 Things That Never Happened, and I'm about 45 minutes into it. So, and it's just as funny as it was the first time. I forgot that his real name was Samwise because his mom named him after Lord of the Rings. Because he goes by Sam. I just remembered that his name is Sam, not Samwise. Anyway, it's getting hot in my car, so I'm going to go bring my 5 bags. Actually, there's a bag inside of a bag. So 6 bags worth of stuff into my mom's house for a 2-night stay, mind you. I'm going to be here for 2 nights. Not even 2 full days, just 2 nights. Anyway, I'll check in later. Bye. I don't know when I'm going to give up trying to vlog or read when I'm at my mom's house. She has the TV on constantly, very loudly, because number 1, she has tinnitus, so she always has to have noise, and number 2, she's going deaf and she doesn't want to acknowledge that she's going deaf. She got mad at me when I told her she needed to get her hearing tested. So I can't concentrate, and plus my mom likes to talk all the time, so it's just not. I got 100 pages read of this on Christmas Day, and maybe like 25 pages in another book read, and I did get a lot done. I was listening to 10 Things That Never Happened on the way back to Tucson, and then also today at work. So I'm actually in the middle of 2 books. I'm not going to say much about 10 Things That Happened other than to say it's just as good as it was the first time. And again, I'll link my vlog down below where I first read it earlier this year. But I am wanting to talk about Season of Love, because Season of Love is really good so far. I'm really enjoying Helena Greer's writing style. It is a book about Miriam, who is Jewish, and her family owns a Christmas tree farm. Actually, it's her great aunt Cass, who's a bit of a black sheep in the family, but everyone still loves her. And Miriam had an abusive childhood, something really traumatic. I mean, it was abusive her whole childhood, but then something that I haven't learned about yet, I think, happened that caused her to leave her hometown, or leave the town where Kerrigan's is, because she's actually from Arizona, where I live, because the author is from Tucson. Anyway, she left for almost 10 years and never came back, and she cut herself off emotionally from everyone that she loved the most, including her great aunt Cass and her cousin Hannah and her pseudo parents. And she didn't even know, nobody told her that her great aunt Cass was sick. So when she dies, it's a huge surprise. She leaves the Christmas tree farm, Miriam and Hannah, which is her cousin, and then Levi, who is Miriam's pseudo-parents' son. They're the ones who run the farm. And Noelle, who is the other main character in the book. She is like, she takes care of the trees and helps out. You know, she's a huge part of it. So it's a 4-part ownership, and there's clashes. And I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. It's really cute, and I like it. I like how all the Jewish traditions and Christmas traditions clash, because there's a lot of both. There's a lot of Jewish baking in here, and it's making me I'm liking the chemistry okay between the two of them. It's not my favorite so far. There's a lot more going on in the book that I can't really talk about without going into a lot of spoilers and just spending a lot of time on it, and I don't have that much time to spend, and I'm tired and I'm going to bed, but I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can. And next time I see you, I will be done hopefully with both Season of Love and 10 Things That Never Happened. Okay, here to wrap up 2 books. Numero uno. 10 Things That Never Happened. 5 stars. Just as great as last time. Would recommend. Would read again. And also this book, Season of Love, which I am giving 4 stars. Thought for a bit it might be a 4.5 or a 5, but it was just a 4. I really liked it. I'm definitely excited to read the other 2 books in this series. There are 2 more, and they're not Christmas books, because part of the plot in here is that this place goes from a Christmas land to a all-year land with a focus on Christmas, because it's still a Christmas tree farm. Pippin, don't eat my charger cord. He's confused about why I'm standing here. It's because my phone is charged. What are you doing? Can you tell everyone what you're doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't remember what I said about this, but it ended well. I really like the way they navigated each other's junk. Not like junk, trauma, junk, that kind of junk. Their baggage. It was cute, and I appreciated, as an asexual romance reader, the sex scenes were fade to black, and they were just, it was playful, and I want to visit Christmas Land. I want to go there, and I want to make friends with these people. So that's really fun. That said, I'm going to go start a quick little book. Well, I've already started another book. Sorry, I forgot. So I was going to start Hither Page. If you remember, I was going to start The Missing Page, which is book 2, to the Hither Page or whatever. But then it doesn't even take place at Christmas. So I didn't do my due diligence, so I'm not reading it. Scrolled through my audiobook apps to see if I could find something. Side note, Everand is terrible now. Like, I was scrolling through, because thank you, Pippin. I only have the plan that gives you 1 unlock. It's basically just a credit per month. There's an unlimited catalog, but there's nothing on that catalog that is good. It's all self-published, unpopular stuff. It's awful. Like, I don't know if they're losing money or if they're just getting greedy or what, but I am probably going to cancel and not resubscribe, because if I'm going to be spending a credit, I want to be able to own the audiobook, not just have it on somebody else's app. It's $3 more to get a credit than an unlock on Everand. Come on, guys. What are you doing? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I was scrolling through and I found A Very Scalzy Christmas. This is a book I've owned forever. I have the ebook and the audiobook, and I tried to read it a couple of years ago and I just never got around to it, and then I forgot that I had it. They're very short fiction stories that have his signature, very silly, weirdly thorough explorations into bizarre premises thing, but all themed around Christmas. Like the one I'm listening to right now is Santa's lawyer talking to Santa's PR manager about how she does work for Santa, how she advised him to live in Florida and stuff like that. No, it's weird. So I'm having a good time. It's only a 2-hour and 44-minute audiobook. So I should finish it pretty quickly. But in the meantime, I'm not listening to an audiobook the rest of the night probably. So I'm going to be reading a very quick novella before I jump into my last several novels that I will be reading for this. Because I want to get this video posted by Sunday night, Monday morning. I don't know how many more books I can fit in. I want to read I'll Be Alone for Christmas, because I'm determined to find a Kindle Unlimited novella, holiday novella, that works for me. And this one has way better reviews than the last one that I read. I looked at the reviews this time and I looked at the average ratings. Wish me luck. I'll be back once I finish it. Hello. I've just woken up from a nap. It wasn't as good of a nap as it could have been because my bed is unmade, so I didn't sleep on my bed. I slept on my tiny little love seat, which I'm getting a new couch in 2025, so. And also the cats were just climbing all over me. They couldn't decide where they wanted to be, and it just kept me awake longer than it should have. But all that to say is now that I'm awake-ish, let's talk about the books I finished, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try and read some books tonight. Number one, I have finished A Very Scalzy Christmas. This was actually really fun. It reminded me of his other short story collection, Miniatures. All the stories were very silly and very short. There was one that did actually make me cry, though. It was very manipulative. It's called Sarah's Sister. I won't say any more than that. But yeah, it was a fun little collection. So I gave that 4 stars. And then I did read I'll Be Alone This Christmas. I'm giving it 3.5 stars. It was well written. Like, the prose was perfectly fine, unlike that other book that I read. I just think that I don't like books like that are so short, and I don't think it has time for the tension to really build up. And also it seemed kind of stupid that what happened was happening, because it basically turns into kind of like a slasher, but not really. It was like the opposite of a slasher. And I was just like, I'm not getting it. There was no there. It was just all surface. Anyway, it was fine. So 3.5 stars. Now I'm going to read, I'm too lazy to get up. I'm going to read The Magic Christmas by Francine Pascal. I'm so excited. If it's terrible, I will be so sad. I will check in soon because I'm doing this right now. Okay, I just wanted to check in real quick before I go to bed. But I know why Tiny Ashley liked this, and it's because it's baby's first fantasy. It's really not that well written. Also, it wasn't written by Francine Pascal. It was written by... Wait, is Francine Pascal the one that didn't exist? No, she died. She existed. There's one that didn't exist, though. I think I'm thinking of the author of Nancy Drew. Carolyn Keene didn't exist. Is there another one? Anyway, this was written by Jamie Suzanne. That's why it says Francine Pascal's Sweet Valley Twins. Anyway, I'll talk more about the actual plot of this and my thoughts on it in the morning for those of you who care. Yeah, bye. This book is terrible. I am weeping for my childhood self. No, it was weird. Okay, so normally when I reread childhood favorites that I haven't read since I was a child, I have this thing where I'm simultaneously my childhood self and my current self. So I can see and remember why I thought this was good then, but I can also right now see that it's terrible. It was quite obviously churned out amidst the thousands or whatever, hundreds of these books that were also churned out at the same time. It was ghostwritten. Well, not really ghostwritten, the name's right there, but you know, it was a commercial effort, and the fantasy in here is so dumb. Like, there's these creatures called blood rats, but the blood is spelled B-L-U-D. Like, what? And then like all the names for the characters, and then the worst part is that it feels all very special episode because the twins and their dolls turn into princes that are also twins, and it just so happens that Jessica, who is the impetuous, sort of selfish, popular, cares about clothes and parties and boys twin, gets the studious, bookish prince twin doll guy. And then Elizabeth, who is the bookish, studious, responsible, rule follower nerd, gets the impetuous Jessica, like man twin. And then they have to learn a very special lesson. But it's also just like vaguely creepy, like that you have a romantic interest in somebody who's exactly like your sister, but in a boy form. I don't know, it's just creepy. And then like the way they defeat this evil wizard that cursed them to be dolls in the first place in another world, it's just, it was over like that. And his name was Medwin, and like that's not a scary name, it's a stupid name. I don't know. I'm judging my past self really hardcore, but also like I feel compassion for her because she read this like 100 times. I'm not rating it. I can't, because it would make me sad to give it like what I actually thought it deserved right now. And past Ashley would have probably given it like a 4.5 if she knew what that was. The Magic Christmas. Lesson learned though, I'm not revisiting any more Sweet Valley Twins books because that did not go well. And now I think I'm only going to go for one more book. I could do 2. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read that 3rd book in the new year and be fine with it. And it's the 12 Days of Murder. And the 12 Days of Christmas go into January, so I'm fine. I'm still reading it seasonally. But I want to read this. I want to read Murder on the Christmas Express. It's what I'm in the mood for. I know I can get through it super quickly. And I just want it, okay? I want it. And also, I am about to go, because Barnes & Noble is having an enormous sale right now. It will be over by the time that you post this, so I hope those of you who wanted to get involved in that did. But they do their annual clearing out of the hardcovers. Every single hardcover in the store is 1/3 off, 33% off. And there's a lot that are 50% off. There's like still the buy one, get one half off deals. They're just clearing the inventory. And I have a $5 reward, and I have some books that I want. And then I'm gonna just let myself browse a little. But also I'm gonna go to the new tiny little Barnes & Noble that's at the Tucson Mall because I just want to. And actually that's a lie. I ordered a book and they were the only one that of the 3 locations in town that had it. So that's where I will be partaking and giving my money to at this moment. Sadly, they don't have a cafe though, the little Barnes & Noble. It's like a mall bookstore. I'll just go to the food court or something. I don't know. Also, I have to go to Victoria's Secret because my mom got me some stuff, some like sweats and pajamas and that don't really fit, and they're not really my style. I know the wide legs are back for the pajamas and the sweats and everything, but I'm not into it. I don't like it. Give me a tapered leg. Give me a jogger. I don't want the bleh. I moved past that in the 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever. I will check in. Probably I'll film some B-roll at Barnes & Noble and at the mall, just for the heck of it, because I don't think I really have any for this vlog. And I will check in when I'm like halfway through, and then when I finish it, and then we will finish up the vlog. I have not yet counted how many books I read for this, but I think it's a lot because I just looked at my spreadsheet and I had to scroll for a while. I think I read quite a bit in this vlog. Whatever. Okay, bye. Hi, I have a book haul, but first I have to figure out this camera situation. I don't know why, but it's really flummoxing me right now. So let me just figure this out real quick. Okay, I figured it out. It wasn't that hard. I have a book haul for you guys. So you may have just seen my shopping trip to the cute little Barnes & Noble at the mall. I wanted to show you the 5 books that I got, all of which were heavily discounted. And then I did stop at Bookman's, which is my local used bookstore, and I used up some credit there. And I had a $5 coupon credit, plus I got an extra 10% off for being a member at Barnes & Noble. So I got all of these pretty great condition / new books for like $75 and under. I'm pretty proud of myself. Let's go through them real quick, and then I'm gonna go read some more. First up is The Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. This is a book I've been on hold at the library for 6 months. And I wasn't even waiting for the hard copy. I was waiting for the ebook. I think the last time I looked, I was number 30 out of like 412. This is a in-demand book at the library, although there were several copies at the bookstore. So, you know, guys, you can just go buy it and you can support this lovely author. Anyway, this is a book about, I believe, it's been a long time since I've requested it, so I didn't read the blurb. I just grabbed it because it was a hardcover, and it was hardcovers that were on sale. They were 34% off, which is really 44% off for me. So this is a book about, I think it's a father and a daughter. Yeah, father and a daughter who are or become, I don't know if they already are or they become food detectives in this book. But basically what a food detective is if you had some recipe, some dish that you loved and that it's connected very specially in your memories to something nostalgic or emotional, but you cannot find that recipe or they no longer make it, or, you know, and so you're never going to be able to eat that food again. What they do is they detect, and I guess either they recreate or find the recipe. And I tell you what, I really need them because there was this pizza in my childhood mall that is still my favorite pizza, and they are out of business. They are long out of business, like 15, 18 years out of business, maybe longer. And I can still remember it. I can still taste it. And I'm very sad that I will never get to taste it again in my life. So that's why I wanted to read this. And then this is the book that I special ordered, that the only one that all 3 Barnes & Nobles had was at this location. And that's Welcome to the Hunam Bookshop by Hwang Bo Rim. I looked up how the author said it, and she was talking really fast. So I think it's Hunam Dong. This is a cozy book, Korean book about a bookshop, a woman who stops her career and just decides, I need to open a bookshop. And then all the cozy, heartwarming, healing things that happen to her and the people around her because of that decision. I've heard nothing but good things about this. So when I realized it was a hardcover and that the hardcovers were 34% off, I had to get it. Now, next up is a book where I hate the cover. I hate this cover so much, but I own the other 3 books, so I had to get it, and it was 50% off. See? That's Brother Song by TJ Klune. Now, I will just tell you, not only do I not like the color scheme, I told Tor in my review space on Goodreads 2 years ago when they first released this cover that these dang wolves are peeing. Tell me these wolves are not peeing. I know a squat when I see it. I grew up with dogs. Look at that one. He knows what he's doing. He knows they're peeing. How did this get through Tor's marketing? How did they not say those wolves are peeing? I don't understand. I'm so offended. I don't even want it on my shelf. But the undercover is pretty. It's got snowflakes. And then the Barnes & Noble edition has these pretty little end papers. I'm just very upset about this. I don't understand how you could look at this cover and not see it. I'm moving on. This is the book that I'm doing these in order of size, not in order of like where I got them. But this is the book that I got at Bookman's. I saw it on a display table. I've actually had this on my TBR for like 15 years, and I've never seen a copy in the wild, so I had to get it. And that's The City of Dreaming Books by Walter Mowers. I don't even really remember what this is about, other than that it's a book about books and it's a bit of a fantasy. And this particular, oh, look at that. That, interesting. You've just been poisoned. Ooh, and look at this. So it's kind of a little bit interactive, and it has illustrations. I think it's a German book. It's been translated into English. I would like to get to this sooner rather than later now that I own a copy because I've been wanting to read it for so long. And then 2 more. So this is another 50% offer. And I had picked this up and put it back and picked it up and put it back several times after this was released. And I've just said, no, this is a library book or a sale or used book. We don't need to buy this for $30. But it was now 50% off plus my 10% as a member. So it was 60% off. And that is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. The only book that I have read by this author is The Last Unicorn. But my favorite piece of writing he ever did is in the introduction to the 1960s editions of Lord of the Rings, which I will not go over that again here. I have babbled about that pretty endlessly, but it's one of my favorite things that he wrote. So I just wanted to mention it real quick. But yeah, this I think is like a silly fantasy book about dragons being pests or something. I'm not really sure, but I've seen good reviews of it and I think it looks cute. And the inside has a bunch of dragons. And then the last book is the one, honestly, I would drop everything right now and read it if I didn't have several books I need to get finished before the end of the year, and it is the 29th. I just saw the back. I didn't see the back before. It's Pony Confidential by, what's her name? Christina Lynch. This is well, it has to be a cozy. Maybe it's not, though. It's a mystery book about a horse who becomes a detective. He's just a regular horse. He's not like a talking horse or anything. When his owner is accused of murder. And this is why I was laughing. Look at it's the pony. And it's just this Sherlock Holmes hat on the horseshoe. So I think it's half from his owner's perspective and then half from his. What's the horse's name? Pony. His name is Pony. Pony and Penny. Penny is his owner. It says it's observant and feel good. Reveals the humanity of animals and the beastliness of humans. Okay, so it doesn't sound like a cozy then, because cozies don't really do that, at least as far as I'm aware, but we'll see. I'm excited to read it. I was also on hold for this at the library, but when I saw it and that it was hardcover, all their hardcovers are being picked over right now, by the way, so there's not that many left because people have really gone for it. But yeah, I had to get this. Okay, and real quick, I did start Murder on the Christmas Express while I was waiting for the mall to open because they didn't open until 11. And then the places that I went to didn't open until 12. So I had some food while I was waiting. But anyway, I was reading this. And this is about Roz, who has just retired as an inspector for Scotland Yard. And she was a detective who investigated, I don't think it was specifically murder. I think she investigated multiple things. But anyway, she is on the way back to Scotland, which is where she's from, because her daughter is having a baby and she wanted to be there. But it's snowy and icy and it's like Christmas Eve and the trains are delayed, and she's very lucky that the train is even going through because most of the other trains are canceled that are going north. And then we meet in the prologue, we meet an influencer named Meg, who is murdered by a mysterious man coming in her door. So we know she's dead, even though we go back in time and then we see Roz meeting her and her interacting with all the other passengers, and we meet a bunch of other. I just like the way this author writes about people, and it's definitely not a cozy because the main character has some pretty severe trauma because content warnings for, sexual assault here. But this isn't like a happy-go-lucky, feel-good mystery. It's a little bit dark. And I could see that's what people were complaining about. I'm like, but you guys can't assume things are cozy. Like, you got to look into it, okay? But I like the darkness, so I'm happy that it's here. But yeah, so nobody's been murdered yet, but I want to go on a sleeper train in the UK or like Europe or somewhere. We don't have good trains here in the US. It's very upsetting. So anyway, yeah, I'll check in more once I'm further in, but I'm sad this is the author's third and last book that I hadn't read from her. Check in later, probably after I finished it. I have finished Murder on the Christmas Express. There was a lot of essay in here, so just know that going in. I thought it was well done. There was an exploration of trauma in here that I thought was really well done. The mystery wasn't the best, and I would say this is probably my least favorite of the 3 of her books that I've read, although I did like the train atmosphere. I liked it. That's it. I will check in tomorrow. I guess I'm not posting this on the 29th. I guess I'll be posting it on the 30th. Oh wait, no. Tomorrow's the 30th. Ooh, I guess I'll be posting it on New Year's Eve. Well, okay. That's fine. Because I don't want to deal with editing tomorrow morning. But I'll check in about wrapping this whole thing up and stuff. I didn't get a 5-star. Oh well. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hello, special friends. But not like that. I'm very tired right now, and I was like trying to work up the energy to finish this video. Oh, I forgot my ring light. It's fine. Whatever. I'm artfully shaded. Wrapping up this vlog. So I counted. I read 12 books. So that's pretty good. So I had 1 not rated. I had 1 1-star. I had no 2 stars or 2.5. And then I had 1 3-star, 1 3.5 star, 6 4 stars, 1 4.5 star, and then technically I did have a 5-star. I said I didn't last night, but I do, but it's a reread, so I'm not counting that. Like, I knew it was going to be 5 stars, so it's not like I discovered anything new about myself or books or something. I consider this a success. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do for next year. Ooh, maybe I'll just do another Mish-Mash. Hey, somebody commented. Oh, it's Beth. Hi, Beth. I was supposed to edit tonight, but I'm going to go to bed early. It's like 8:15. I'm going to go wash my face and go to bed. I'll probably read. I'm reading The Teller of Small Fortunes right now, and it's very cozy. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I don't know how long it's going to end up being. If you don't have anything to say about any of the books that I read, or any ideas about what I should read next year, then please leave me some sort of a holiday emoji. I don't care what one. If you liked the video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to. Also, down in the doobly-doo below, I've got links to my Goodreads, my Bluesky. I just started a Bluesky. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. I've not been on Twitter-ish or any sort of social media since 2016, November 2016 to be exact. Also, I've got links to my wish list and my buy me a coffee. And I think that's about it. I think it's time for a nap / bedtime / a vacation / January 1st. I really need this year to be over. I'm just tired. Happy holidays. Be safe out there. Okay, love you. Bye.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.